Us now on the line to discuss the banking sector in Mozambique is João Figueiredo, who is founder and chairman and CEO of Banco Unico. João, good morning to you, and perhaps the first thing to ask you about is a bank like yours, lots of opportunity in a relatively underbanked market.
Yes, good morning, sir. Thank you for this opportunity to talk to you about a little bit about our bank in Mozambique. Indeed, as you told, we just have around 10 to 15% penetration rate, which in terms of banking population, which gives you an idea how far we are from the ideal scenario. But listen, we also have to consider that our specification of Mozambique, which is a country with more than 70% of its population living on the countryside, and the very poor infrastructure we will still have on those regions. So, for instance, if we want to open a branch on the rural areas, we have to have proper energy supply, we have to have telecommunications. So, in fact, this low penetration rate is an opportunity for us, but we have to find the right way to touch those populations. For a bank like us, it means that we have to consider different ways than the classic branch that the banks get used to do. You know, it's a question of to take advantage on the high technology and to try to touch this segment of those mass market on a different way. This is something that we are considering for the future. But since the Banco Unico only has around 2 years in the market, it's a little bit early for us to tell you what kind of approach we will have in this segment.
Well, if you look at, just to take the South African banks, the big banks in South Africa, they are, I suppose, in a process of firstly discouraging people from going to their branch network. They want people to move on the internet and cell phones and so on. And branches are, in a sense, I think if they didn't have branches, right, many of them wouldn't be built now. So you're in a position where you don't have to close branches. You can move straight to the technology, and that must be a huge advantage, particularly in those rural areas where, as we were saying the other day, social media and banking, the opportunities there must be enormous for you.
Listen, it's really nice that you touch this point. You know, our bank, we just received an award of internet banking by the magazine of Global Finance, because we defined from the very beginning that internet banking should be one of the strategy leg for our activity. But the point here is most of the population in Mozambique doesn't have the chance yet to work on the internet. So technology will be definitely the way to touch this population. Internet banking, for the people that get used to work with the internet, they are already using this facility from us. But when we talk about the mass market, we have to, and when we talk about to recover a little bit of this low penetration rate on the population, we have to consider the different kind of channels.
Yeah. Well, the one who gets that right, I suppose, is the one that's going to see the biggest growth, and the technology is moving faster than people expect. You also have had to deal with a new restrictive policy, so banks always have a regulatory environment that they have to deal with more than most other sectors and companies. So how has that made life difficult for you, and what are you doing about it in terms of that regulatory environment?
Listen, for us, it's really easier. We are in a line with all new kind of policies that have to be done and that have been regulated by the international bodies. For us, we want to be a bank in Mozambique that works under the international standards. So from the very, very beginning, we are working under those kind of rules. So for us, it's just a question of trying to implement the right policies. If you look at the world, what's happened since the international crisis, you would see that, unfortunately, some new regulations should be in place in order to have a little bit more discipline in the market. So we don't see this as a barrier for us. This is something that will help to discipline the market.